My name is Harold Bennett. I'm 73 years old, and just this past winter, sitting alone at my kitchen table after everyone had gone home, I finally understood something that had been happening to me my entire life without my noticing it. Regret doesn't arrive all at once. It comes so slowly you think nothing is happening at all. Most days now are quiet. Not the peaceful kind people imagine when they talk about old age, but a thinner quiet. The kind that settles after the phone stops ringing. After birthdays are remembered by fewer people. After you realize the house hasn't heard laughter in a while, and you can't remember exactly when that changed. I wake up early because my body does. There's no job waiting for me anymore, no real urgency. I make coffee I don't finish. I read the same headlines twice. Sometimes I look out the window and try to remember what I used to hurry toward. At 73, time feels different. It's not dramatic, it's just firm. Like a door that doesn't slam, but doesn't stay open either. When I was younger, I thought regret would be obvious. I thought it would come attached to some big mistake. A single wrong decision, a ruined career, a marriage that blew up in flames. But that's not how it worked for me. I didn't ruin my life. That's the hard part. From the outside, it looked fine, stable, respectable even. I worked for the same manufacturing company for 41 years, started on the floor in my 20s, moved into supervision by my 30s, management by my 40s. I showed up. I didn't drink too much. I didn't cheat. I paid my bills. I raised 2 children who are decent people. There's no headline here, no scandal, no cautionary tale that fits on a poster. And that's exactly why it took me so long to understand what I lost. In my 20s, I was tired all the time, but proud of it. Tired meant useful. Tired meant needed. I'd come home with grease on my hands, sit at the table, eat whatever my wife, Elaine, had made, and talk about work. Not about feelings, about production numbers, about overtime, about who messed up a shipment. Elaine would listen. She always did. Sometimes she'd try to tell me about her day, about the kids, about something her sister said on the phone. I'd nod. I'd say, I thought that counted. I didn't feel like I was neglecting anything. I felt like I was building something. Weekends were for errands. Mowing the lawn, fixing the sink, taking the car in. I told myself that was presence. I was there, wasn't I? When the kids were little, they'd tug at my sleeve and ask me to watch them do something. A cartwheel, a drawing, a magic trick they half forgot the ending to. I'd say, in a minute, and mean it. The trouble with in a minute is that it never has a shape. It stretches, it dissolves. I don't remember the first time my son stopped asking. In my 30s, the promotions came. So did the expectations. More meetings, longer hours, more responsibility. People started calling me reliable, dependable, solid. Those words felt good. They still do, a little. Elaine went back to work part-time when the kids were in school. She seemed tired in a different way, quieter. I noticed, but I didn't ask much. I figured if something was wrong, she'd tell me. That's another thing I believed for a long time, that important things announce themselves. They don't. They wait. By my 40s, the house felt busier and emptier at the same time. Teenagers coming and going, doors slamming. Music I didn't recognize. I told myself this was normal. That distance was part of growing up. I missed some games, not all. Just enough that my absence stopped being notable. I missed dinners because meetings ran long. I missed conversations because I was tired. I missed chances to ask questions because I assumed I already knew the answers. At the time, none of it felt permanent. Everything felt temporary, a phase, a season. I kept telling myself there would be more time when things slowed down. They didn't. Elaine and I started talking less, not arguing, just less. We discussed logistics, schedules, bills. We were efficient. Sometimes late at night she'd say, "Do you ever think about what happens after all this?" And I'd say, "After what?" And she'd shrug and turn over. I thought she meant retirement. I thought she meant money. I didn't realize she meant us. In my 50s, my father died. Heart attack. Quick. He was 78. At the funeral, people said things like, "He worked hard his whole life." I nodded. That seemed like a compliment. I remember standing by the grave and thinking, I've got time. I'm younger than he was. I'm doing fine. That thought stayed with me longer than it should have. Elaine got sick when I was 56. Nothing dramatic at first, just fatigue, tests, appointments. Words that didn't sound urgent enough to scare me. I went to most of the doctor visits, not all. Sometimes work got in the way. Sometimes I figured she'd tell me what mattered. When the diagnosis finally came, it felt unreal, like it belonged to someone else's life, something you hear about, not something that settles into your living room. She handled it better than I did. She always had. The treatments were long, the days blurred. I learned how much of our marriage had been held together by habit, how little practice I had at sitting still with someone else's fear. I did what I knew how to do. I managed. I scheduled. I solved problems. I didn't know how to just be there without trying to fix something. There are moments from that time that replay now, uninvited. Her sitting on the couch, wrapped in a blanket, staring at nothing. Me standing in the doorway, wanting to say something meaningful. Settling for, "Do you need anything?" She'd smile. She always smiled. And say no. She died 2 years later. After the funeral, the house felt wrong. Too quiet. Too large. I walked from room to room like I was looking for something I'd misplaced, convinced it would turn up if I checked one more drawer. People came by at first. They brought food. They hugged me. They said I was strong. Eventually, they stopped. My kids called, less often than I expected, more often than some people get. I don't blame them. They have lives, families, their own versions of in a minute. I retired at 65. The company threw me a party, sheet cake, a plaque, speeches about dedication. I smiled for the photos. The next Monday, I woke up early anyway, sat at the table, drank my coffee, waited for something to begin. Nothing did. That's when the days really started to stretch. I had time then, all the time I thought I'd been saving, and no clear idea what to do with it. I tried hobbies, woodworking, gardening, walking the same loop around the neighborhood every morning. I volunteered for a while. It felt fine. It didn't feel like meaning. What surprised me most was how little anyone needed me anymore. At work, there was always a problem. At home, there had been roles. Now, there was just me. That's when the regret started to show itself. Not as pain, as questions. Why didn't I ask more? Why did I assume? Why did I wait? I'd think about small moments. A dinner I skipped. A conversation I postponed. A hand I didn't hold because I thought there would be another chance. None of those moments felt important at the time. That's the cruel part. Regret, I've learned, is mostly made of ordinary days. The real turning point came last year when my grandson graduated high school. I sat in the bleachers, surrounded by people cheering, crying, taking pictures. He waved when he saw me. Just a quick wave, polite, fond, not close. I realized then that I didn't really know him. Not the way I wanted to. Not the way I thought I would. I knew facts. His age. His interests. His plans. I didn't know his inner life, and I recognized that feeling. I'd felt it before. With my own kids. With Elaine. It wasn't that they kept me out. It was that I hadn't gone all the way in. That night, back home, I sat in the dark and understood something very clearly. There are losses that don't announce themselves as losses until it's too late to recover them. You don't get a notice. You don't get a warning. You just look back one day and realize a bridge has quietly collapsed behind you. There are things I can't fix now. I can't go back and listen better. I can't show up for moments that have already passed. I can't ask Elaine what she meant all those nights she turned away. I can't become the man my children needed when they were small. I can only be who I am now. That's a hard thing to sit with. I don't hate my life. I'm grateful for parts of it. I had stability. I had love, even if I didn't always know how to hold it. But I do mourn the version of myself that thought delay was harmless. If you're listening to this, I won't tell you what to do. I don't know your life. I don't know your pressures. I'll only say this. The days you think don't matter are the ones that add up. Presence isn't something you make time for later. It's something you either practice now or lose the ability to practice at all. I wish I had known that being needed at work is not the same as being known at home. I wish I had understood that showing up halfway feels the same as not showing up at all to the person waiting. I thought love was sturdy enough to survive neglect. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it just gets thinner. I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid of having already lived past the moments that mattered most without realizing they were happening. These days, I try to be more present in the small ways I can. I answer the phone when it rings. I ask questions and wait for the answers. I sit longer than is comfortable. It doesn't undo anything, but it feels honest. If this meant something to you, you don't have to say anything. Just notice your next ordinary moment. They're rarer than they feel. As for me, I'll finish my coffee. I'll look out the window. I'll carry what I know now into whatever time I have left. It's not a lesson, it's just the truth, finally understood.